Welcome to Degrees of Maternity, a channel devoted to nurturing real, personal, and professional growth by bringing about a sense of self-awareness and encouraging life improvements for the long term. I invite you to pull up a seat, sit down at the table, and make yourself comfortable. I want you to feel at home because the time has come to discuss one of my favorite subjects, words. I use words in every facet of my life. Let me name some of the ways. I use words in my profession to inspire, educate, and entertain others, in my daily life functioning, to communicate with others, to provide myself with necessary checks and balances, to stay informed about the world around me, to nurture my body, mind, spirit, and soul, for personal growth and learning. The list could go on and on. Yes, I admit it. I'm a words person. Downright wordy even. But I love words because they're life to me. And that's how I desire to use words, to bring light in my life and in others' lives. That's my perspective on how words should function. But my perspective isn't the only one out there. As a matter of fact, some people routinely use words for very dangerous, disturbing, and destructive purposes. Sadly enough, you and I could probably come up with a boatload of those negative uses with way too much ease. It shouldn't be like that, though, using something so powerful, such as words, for evil instead of good. But isn't that the overarching, polarizing dichotomy to just about everything in life? Good versus evil? Well, I'm not here to get into the subject, per se, of good versus evil. It'd take a lifetime of content to parse that one out. No, I'll just hone in on how these opposing forces manifest themselves in the use of words. So, let's get into it. Let's discuss the power of words. I'm definitely a believer in the power of words, all the way. Hook, line, and sinker. Have you ever heard the saying, be careful what you wish for? Probably. Yes, you've definitely heard this one. And did you know that most people, at some point at the wishing well, vocalize what it is they want? It's hard not to, because something you truly desire to have or something you seek to accomplish will so completely consume your thoughts that it's bound to come out in your conversations, your presentations, your prayers. And then you can easily find those words permeating throughout your written, audio, and visual outlook in your daily affirmations, your Bible studies and devotions, your journaling, your meditations, your vision board creations, and all things law of attraction. So let me ask you a question. Do you choose words to build yourself, others, and situations up? I'm almost certain that every one of us have, at some point in our lives, come across something that we read or heard that was so profound, something so completely penetrating to our heart's core that it brought tears to our eyes, brought us down to our knees, or brought healing balm to our aching souls. That's the kind of therapeutic touch that words can have if we let them do their job in nourishing us and influencing us to strive for life improvement. Words can heal, they can encourage, and they can bring life. How many times have you attended a presentation at a gathering that changed the course of your life and how you care for yourself and positively impact others? Witness someone's personal or professional reference land an individual his or her dream job of a lifetime. Experienced how an I love you can create a peaceful spirit, positive outlook, and a willingness to cooperate in you or someone you love. Witnessed a student's miraculous growth under his or her mentor's invaluable tutelage, handcrafted specifically for that student. Listen to a moving song that made you think of fond memories of a loved one that's no longer living and then brought you to tears. Beamed with parental pride when hearing your infant or toddler say, Mama and Dada. researched online and found a wholesome and delicious recipe that happily brought you and your family together for some quality time at the dinner table. Now let me ask you another question. Instead of building up, do you choose words to tear yourself, others, and situations down? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Not totally true. The sticks and stones part can realistically happen, but the words will never hurt me are absolutely and completely false, all strung together as they are. As children, I know we may have touted these sayings around other children to show them just how little their mean words were affecting us, but they affected us nonetheless. And as adults, we know the real deal. Words can hurt, they can destroy, and they can kill. How many times have you heard politicians verbally bash one another or the people they're supposed to represent? Witnessed hate groups single out people who are not like them and threaten them with violence? Heard parents saying disparaging words to their children who so desperately need encouragement to blossom into individuals who know their self-worth and can thrive to be loving parents to their children one day? Heard of innocent individuals going to prison or losing their lives for a crime they didn't commit because of someone's malicious lies? Read a cyberbullying message that wasn't true about someone, but unfortunately, a false seed of doubt about the person's character had been planted before you knew the full truth. Received an email that was sent by a hacker whose primary goal was to steal your personal information or crash your computer system. Heard someone on social media gossiping or spouting slanderous accusations against someone else, and those negative sentiments cost him or her a job, credibility, influence, and respect. Now let's switch gears a minute and talk about the dilemma that occurs when words and actions don't align. Well, which one do you think is more powerful, words or actions? I mean, we've obviously established that words are pretty powerful, but where do actions come into play? Look at it this way. If someone says, "I love you," but physically or verbally abuses you every day, does that person really love you? Or here's one. Wonder if someone decides to put your personal business out on social media, yet tells you that you can trust her with the most intimate details of your life. Or check this one out for size. Someone tells you that he wants to be successful as a content creator, but quits creating content so he doesn't have to endure the growing pains the creative process is dragging him through. So let me ask you again. Which one do you think is more powerful? Words or actions? Which form of communication should I expect you to believe in? Honestly, here's the perspective I take when a person's words don't align with their actions. The actions shine a revealing light on the true nature of the person behind the words. Believe what he or she is communicating to you by what he or she does. After all, actions speak louder. I've witnessed this phenomenon over and over again through real-life experiences. The truth, in this case, true tendencies of a person, will eventually come to light. Truth may not come out when you want it to, how you expect it to, or where you think it will, but it'll come out. Now, while we're on the subject of negativity in words, I want to draw your attention to a previous post on my blog, and it's entitled Must-Reads for Complainers. I go in on the importance of using your words to utter positivity rather than negativity. The following is an excerpt from the post. If they could, I imagine many people in the grave would tell us, in the living, that things could always be worse and that they'd love to have our problems versus the actual circumstance they're in. So, I try to remember the following when going through these temporary bouts of complaining. Your worst day could quite possibly be the next person's best day. A lot of times, your outlook on life depends on the kind of perspective that you keep. And here's some perspective from a sporadic complainer who wants to nip the complaint bug in the bud. With any situation that you identify as problematic or unfavorable, try to find any positive aspects and build upon them until you can eliminate as many of the negative aspects as possible. And while you're doing that, your additional call to action for the course of your lifetime is to exercise that tongue of yours to give thanks rather than to complain. Simply maintain an attitude of gratitude. If you're able to read this post, then you're alive. And if you're alive, then you definitely have one thing you can always be thankful for. I want to leave you with some profound wisdom before I go. Unfortunately, I can't claim this upcoming food for thought as mine. I don't know where or who it originated from, and the person I saw and heard reciting it was reading it from his phone to the group he was teaching on YouTube. What was said resonated so true to me because I wholeheartedly believe in the power of prayer, and the prayer that words, those foundational building blocks, have when we speak them in prayer. You may not be one to pray, and if you're not, I'd still like for you to take in what's being said and apply it to how you might use your words in everyday life, while you're on the job, at school, at home, at the store, at the gym, speaking to your loved ones, to your coworkers and boss, to your social media following, to yourself. Remember, the words you write, the words you read, the words you hear, and the words you speak affect you and those around you. Words have lasting effects and can change lives for the better or for the worse. Words have built up and torn down. Words have brought life and words have brought death. So with that in mind, please listen to the following written words. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked for wisdom, and God gave me problems to solve. I asked for prosperity, and God gave me brawn and brains to work. I asked for courage, and God gave me dangers to overcome. I asked for patience, and God placed me in situations where I was forced to wait. I asked for love, and God gave me troubled people to help. I asked for favors, and God gave me opportunities. I received nothing I wanted, and I received everything I needed. My prayers have all been answered. Powerful and penetrating, right? Well, these words were so moving to me that tears came to my eyes and rolled down my face. Words will do that to you sometimes. And in conclusion, I decided to leave you with a saying of my very own to bring the last 1,500 plus words together. Always keep in mind that words have weight. So, be careful how you throw them around. I hope you all were edified by today's table discussion. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure to join me for the next video, where you're sure to find some real talk about real life. Until next time.